Fieldwork Practice Learning on the occasion of the 4th National Social Work Week. Today we have our esteemed speaker, Mr. Joseph Riame, Assistant Professor of TIS Guwahati off-campus. Welcome, sir. Joseph Riame has served as Chairperson, Center for Community Organization and Development Practice from 2017 to 2020. In an academic career spanning over 1 decade of teaching and research on conflict and peace, social action, advocacy and movement, tribes and governance, community organization and development practice, issues of identity and livelihood, environmental movement, project management, etc. Dr. Riame has had the opportunity to engage with students, academicians, development professionals and non-profit organizations across different parts of the country and abroad. He has extensive engagement with tribes, governance, conflict, and social work education and practice. He has published numerous books and articles, The Tribal Society, Diversity, Inclusion, and many more, and has been a board member of various NGOs, universities, and research organizations. Welcome, sir. Now I would request Balita and Golden from MSW 3rd to felicitate Sir Joseph. Now let's welcome our speaker to enlighten us with his knowledgeable words.
Good evening, sir.
Let me say that again. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
So I have say 40 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Okay. So I'm just keeping the time so that, we teachers who teach in the class tend to speak more than what we are supposed to speak. So I'm just the process of the time. So I'm keeping, the time just to warn me that maybe I should not overshoot the time. Well, since I should say it's a very kind of formal presentation, but I don't want to sound very academic. If I sound very academic, I know students, they'll go off somewhere, they'll think about some things, and my present address today will not make sense to you. So I'm thinking, how do I make sense of my presentation? So I'll try to make it as simple as you can so that it benefits especially the students. Okay? Before I start my presentation, I want to know, is there anyone from, to the students, is there anyone from outside the Northeast who have come to study in Royal Global University, Social Work? No. Okay, good. So all the students are from Northeast, right? Those who are not from Assam, can you please raise your hand? Not from Assam. Students, those who are not from Assam. Okay, good. Thank you. That reflects the diversity in the class too. And I'm very happy that we have a diverse group of students. And basically when we talk about the topic that I'm going to talk about reflects, the diversities and the social realities, especially in the context of Northeast. And I have been reflecting, especially in the context of social work in Northeast, because the social work professions in Northeast is not very new, not very old as compared to other professions. Right? I touched a little bit on that. Okay. So students, don't think that I have packets of knowledge. I have packets of knowledge, and you just have come to listen to me. Okay. You will listen to me, but I will also listen to you. I'll give you something in between my presentations to also know something from you. So take me as your friend in this presentation. If you take me as a teacher where I have to just deliver and go away, it will not make sense to what we are discussing today. So I want to make it very fruitful, and I want to make it from the student approach, okay, and to sound it as simple as I can. So basically, my presentations is divided into 5 parts. Okay, brief overview of social work, because if we have to talk about social work education, we have to touch a little bit on that. Then India and Northeast, I reflect also a little bit on Northeast. Maybe some of you might have been reading about this. And I can also supplement you with reading materials if you want to, what I'm speaking. Okay? And coming to the second point, I'll talk about social work, fieldwork practice in India. It's just an overview. I'm not going to talk about too many things so that it bores you. And importance of field practice, learning and innovation. That is the crux of my talks, right? And then, very interestingly, I want to share my experiences of locating fieldwork practice and empowering community, my learning experiences. So this is based on certain learning experiences that I have, especially in the context of Northeast, and I'm going to wind it up with certain conclusion, okay? And I'll give you time to speak also, and I encourage everyone, when I give you a time, to supplement me or to say something from your own understanding and realities. Now, coming to the introduction, social work education in India began, we all know, the first school of social work, namely Sir Dorothy Tata Graduate School of Social Work. Anyone knows when did this school was started? Which year? 1937. Anyone else?
1936.
1936. Good, you're very close. Good. Now, good, I'm very happy. 1936 it started, okay? And then, in the due process, the school has been renamed as Tata Institute of Social Sciences. It's not that I come from Tata Institute, I'm telling about Tata Institute. It's because of the history, okay? So, through that, social work has started. And then, since 1936, there have been many shifts in practice and approaches to the changing reality. And there has been also explosion of social work education institution in India. Since the growth and promotions of social work education in India were recognized with the University Grant Commission appointing the first review committee for social work education in 1965 and the second review committee in 1980. I'm touching this history a little bit because since you are a student of social work, you need to know how, the milestones of the social work education in India. And I'll come to the Northeast in particular later on. Okay? And if you look at now, in 2001, the third review committee sought to relate social work education to the social realities. Because if you understand social work education, it is not an organic product of India. Okay? We borrow this social work education from the Western countries. The social work basically is a copy-paste of Western syllabus. So later on, when UGC recognized, there was lots of thrust to relook at the curriculum so that we can relate to the Indian social realities. For example, we talk about castes, we talk about tribes, Adivasi, we talk about exclusion, marginalization. Those are the important realities that we need to touch about when we deal with social work in India. And if you look at in the present context, right, there have been numerous consultation and lobbying for recognizing the professional social work by the government of India to form the National Council of Social Work, Education and Practice Bill 2020. This is still a bill, it's not an act yet, alright? So many social work professions are working forward to make this bill as an act. Now, what will happen if you make this bill as an act? The Medical Council of India, right? You must have heard about it. Those are government, legalized institutions. I mean, as long as you are not part of the registered in that MCI, that is Medical Council of India, you are not able to practice, medical practices like doctors, in India. So the same thing goes for the social work in the context of India, but still in the process. Now, forget about India, let's come to Northeast. Social work education in Northeast India, right? So I'm happy that at least here, all of you are from Northeast, right? So we know India's Northeast region is popularly celebrated for its cultural diversity and is known for also numerous problems ranging from conflict, governance issues, right, to insurgencies, right? And if you look at social work education in Northeast, from 2005 to 2010, there has been a sudden blooming of the social work professors. I have published one paper called Social Work Education in Northeast, Status and Challenges. I can share my paper with your faculty, then probably they can also circulate. If you see my paper, and I have done a little bit of research on that, and but that paper was published 5 years back, and even 5 years back there were around 38 institutions, private plus government, who are offering social work in Northeast. And most of these institutions started from 2005 to 2010. So if you look at the history of social work in Northeast, it's still in a developmental phase. It's not very old. But if you look at it in the Indian context, the blooming of social work education started in 1960s and 70s. Okay, if you look at Maharashtra, South India, North India, West India, so on and so forth. In 1960s, 70s, it's quite old for them. But for us in the Northeast region, it's quite new in the sense that it is not